In this lecture, let us learn some basics of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which provides the machines the ability to learn. So it provides the machines the ability to learn automatically and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. So it allows the machine to learn from examples or the previous experiences. So they'll learn automatically from experience, they'll improve themselves without being explicitly programmed. So can a machine think or make decisions? Yes, if you feed a machine a good amount of data, it will learn how to interpret, process, and analyze this data by using machine learning algorithms in order to solve real world problems. Right? So machine learning algorithm is nothing but it is a set of rules and statistical techniques which are used to learn patterns from the data and then draw significant information from that. So that is the basic logic behind machine learning model. So let us try to understand this machine learning with an analogy. So here our task is, assume that suppose you went to a supermarket in order to purchase mangoes, and the vendor, it had cart full of mangoes, and your task is to pick mangoes from that cart, get them weighed and pay according to the rate fixed per kg. So these, assume that this is a cart full of mangoes from where you need to pick the mangoes. Then your task is, you need to choose the best mangoes. So how will you choose the mangoes as a human? So first, say this is your learning one. Bright yellow mangoes are sweeter than pale yellow ones. So in the first experience, so you are informed that bright and yellow mangoes are sweeter than pale and yellow ones. Okay, someone told you about this. So from this, you'll make a simple rule. Pick only the bright yellow mangoes. So you check the color of the mangoes, pick the bright yellow ones, pay up and return home, right? So learning two. So that is your second experience. So during second time when you went to market for purchasing or for buying these mangoes, then you'll check the smaller and brighter yellow mangoes are sweet only half the time. So based on the previous experience, you came to know this point. So even though the mangoes are bright yellow ones, if they are smaller, then they are sweet only half the time. Earlier, you considered all mangoes or all bright yellow mangoes are sweeter. After that, you came to know only the small and bright yellow mangoes are sweeter, that too only half the time. So now, when you went home and tasted the mangoes, some of them were not sweet as you thought. So you're worried as your wisdom was insufficient. So you concluded that when it comes shopping mangoes, you have to look for more than just the colors. So you need to consider something else instead of taking the color. After a lot of pondering and tasting different types of mangoes, you concluded that bigger and bright yellow mangoes are guaranteed to be sweet, whereas smaller, bright yellow mangoes are sweet only half the time. Say if you bought 100 bright yellow mangoes, 50 of size, bigger, 50 will be big in size and rest 50 will be small. Then the 50 big mangoes will be sweet, while out of 50 small ones, only 25 mangoes will turn out to be sweet. So you'll then update your rule about the mango shopping, and from next time, you'll keep this point in mind. Then learning 3. Small pale yellow mangoes are sweetest of all. So in experience 3, what you'll learn. So here next time at the market, you see that your favorite vendor has gone out of the town. You decide to buy from a different vendor who supplies mangoes grown from a different part of the country. Now you realize that the rule which you had learned, that is big and bright yellow mangoes are the sweetest, is no longer applicable, right? Because these are from different country. So you have to learn from scratch again. So now you taste a mango of each kind from this vendor and realize that the small pale yellow ones are in fact the sweetest of all. Next, learning four. So fourth time when you went to purchase mangoes. So then you realize that soft mangoes are juicier. Say suppose at this time, assume that one day your cousin visits you from another city. You decide to treat her with mangoes, but she's like, I don't care about the sweetness of a mango. I only want the juiciest ones. So now once again you run your experiments, tasting all kinds of mangoes and realize that the softer ones are juicier. Next, during learning five, that is during fifth time or fifth experience, you identified that green mangoes are tastier than the yellow ones. So here, you move to a different part of the world and you found that the mangoes here taste surprisingly different from your home country. You realize that for this country, the green mangoes are tastier than the yellow ones. This is in a different country. Next, during learning six, you do not need mangoes anymore. So, say you marry someone who hates mangoes but loves oranges instead. Now you go shopping or oranges instead of mangoes. So, all your accumulated knowledge about mangoes is worthless now. So, you have to learn everything about the correlation between physical characteristics and the taste of oranges by the same method of experimentation, right? So by using the same experiences, you need to start learning about oranges at this time. Okay, so what if you have to write a code for this? As a human written code, imagine that you were asked to write a computer program to choose your mangoes or oranges. So you might write the following rule like this: if it is bright and size is big and sold by, then we are concluding that mango is sweet. So if the mango is soft, then we are concluding that mango is juicy. In this way we are writing rules or algorithms. So you would use these rules to choose the mangoes. And here, machine learning algorithms, they are the evolution of normal algorithms, right? So they make your program smarter by allowing them to automatically learn from the data you provide. Say here the algorithm is mainly divided into two categories. One is training phase and second one is testing phase. So during training phase, you take a randomly selected specimen of mangoes from the market. So we are still using the same scenario which we used before. So we are taking a selected specimen of mangoes from the market, that is the training data. Make a table of all the physical characteristics of each mango. So characteristics for mango can be color, size, shape, grown in which part of the country, sold by which vendor, etc. So all of them they comes under features. Along with the sweetness, you can take juiciness, ripeness of that mango as the output variables. So you feed this data to the machine learning algorithm. So it can be the classification or regression. And it learns a model of the correlation between the mango's physical characteristics and its quality. So that is done during the training phase. So what we are doing, we are taking features like color, shape, size, grown in which part of the country, etc. as the input, and sweetness, juiciness, ripeness of that mango as the output variables, and we are training our model. And during the testing phase, so next time when you go for shopping, you will measure the characteristics of the mangoes which you are purchasing, that is the test data, and feed it to the machine learning algorithm. So it will use the model which was computed earlier in order to predict if the mangoes are sweet, ripe, or juicy. So the algorithm, it may internally use the rules similar to the ones you manually wrote before. So finally, you can now shop for mangoes with great confidence without worrying about the details of how to choose the best mangoes. So because you already have some idea now, right? So with that idea, you can with you can purchase. You can now shop for mangoes with that confidence without worrying about how to choose the best mangoes.